All right, day 13. We get the input. The input is separated into lines. We want to know how many times we're going to press each button to get the price. So this will be price.x is how many times we press button A times 94, B times 22, and same for y. And so we want to find the values of A and B. And in the end, each A costs 3 tokens and B costs 1 token, and we want to find the solution with the least amount of tokens. But that is just to trick you. There's only one solution. So we get the data. We start by parsing it. We can start by defining the structure. So it's an equation that we want to solve. We have the A and B and the price, all as vec2, which is of I size. So we have the data. We're gonna read it so we get all the lines, and then we can split that vec into on empty lines. So we get 3 lines in each list. So data split line is white space. No, it's empty and correct. So this is a list of lists. And then we should want to map each array that is 3 lines to an equation. So data, iterate over it, map, and then we have the lines, and so we want to map each line, so we can iterate over it. So we create an iterator, and then A will be iterate and next, and map that string to a vec2. So we can create a function string to vec2 where we send in string and unwrap this. So we can use sed to generate this function. So it's gonna take in a string and it should return a vec2. So the data looks like this. So we just want the first and second number. So we can use regex for that. If we just get the first number and then dot star question marks, it means any character that we can match, but match as few as possible. So as soon as we get the second capture group, that stops. So this will capture into group 1 and 2. So we can copy that. So we create a new regex from that string, unwrap that, and then what we want to do is we want to get the capture groups. So we should do capture iterate to iterate over it. The haystack is the string, and then we can just call next unwrap to get the capture. And so index 0 in this will be the whole capture, and 1 and 2 will be the capture group. So now we can return capture 1 parse unwrap, and the same for y. And then we do the same for A, B, and price. And in the end, we want to map this to what we call an equation, A, B, price. So now we have the all of the equations. Now we actually want to solve them. So this is the difficult part. So we're gonna get the sum, which is the how many tokens we use for each. So we'll iterate over the equations, and then for each equation we want to count tokens, which is gonna return a U size, and in the end we want to sum it, and we can print it, and it should be equal to that in part 1. So then we can generate this method. So it should return a U size. And so now is the hard part, right? We want to know how many times we're gonna press each button. So this will be an equation. So 8400 will be equal to how many times we pressed A times 94 plus B times 22. And the same thing for Y. So now when you see an equation and it's two equations and you have two unknown variables, you know that it's probably going to have one solution. So you can solve this in a couple of different ways. The way I did it, and I'm just gonna copy this in from my notes, is I just rearranged everything by hand, and then solved it that way. But it's not the fastest way. Another way is to do it using matrices, which is faster, but I don't know that math in my head. So for me, that's not really the go-to. But then I found this Wolfram Alpha site. It has you can just enter the equation you want to solve, and the only thing we need to do to just paste the equation in here is give everything a little bit nicer names. So I'll call P0 will be self price X, and then do that for Y, and then A, B, A, no, AA, and then BB, B, B, B. So now these variables are named in a way that Wolfram Alpha will recognize. Basically, they can have a character and then a number. So now we can just write this, but using these variables instead. So P0 will be A0 A times A0 plus B times B0, and P1, P1, P1. And to give this to Wolfram Alpha, all we need to do is say solve, and then we'll take the equations, separate them by comma, I can't copy paste for some reason. Okay, and then we need to say what variables we're solving for. So we're solving for A and B. And then we can just copy paste that into here, and it will think for some time, but then we get the result here. So we can get that as copyable plain text. Just click there, and we get the result. So A will be B1 times divided by this, and then B will be and then it also says B0 shouldn't be equal to A0 because and B0 shouldn't be equal to 0, because then you get a divide by 0. No input is going to give us that, but basically these are checking for if lines are intersecting, and if you get a divide by 0, it means you have parallel lines. Then you will get a lot of results or no results. Then just gonna copy this out. Let A be that. Let B be that. And we get some warnings because Rust you don't name variables like this, but I don't care. So then the result of this will be 3 times A plus B as usize, and this should return an option usize, because not all of these will have an integer solution. So we just want to return the ones that have an integer solution. And the way we can do that is simply to plug everything back. So we wanted to solve this. So we can just check that. So if and equal and P1 equal to this, then we should return sum, otherwise we return none. And so if we run this, we need here to use filter map instead, because we only want to count the tokens that have a solution. So if we run this, we get the correct result. And then for part 2, you want to add this giant number to the price. So just when you have the price here, you just say price is equal to price times vec2 new and this giant number, and now it should be equal to this instead. And so now we get an error. This should be plus. Run it again. And there we got the correct result. Now when I so now we solved part 1 and 2. Depending on how you solve this, an eye size might not be big enough, so you might need I 128 instead. But if you do this method, it will be fine. All right.